Okay, converting between systems. How is multiplying fractions and converting between systems related? So this is stuff you can start using on a daily basis if you do cooking or any kind of conversions that are necessary. Shopping, we can talk about that later. So here we go. Israel's been training to run a 5K race, 5-kilometer race. The furthest he's run, though, in practice is 2.5 miles. And notice here, he's going for kilometers, but he's been running miles. Is that the same? Is it more? Is it less? Will he be prepared? That's the question. Well, let's take a look. I'll tell you now that a mile is about 1.6 kilometers. Okay? So, if the race is 5 kilometers, we're going to try to figure out how far that is in miles. This is what we're going to find out. I write 5 kilometers over 1. And then I'm going to use this here, which is the conversion factor. 1 mile over 1.6 kilometers. These are equivalent. These are the same here. Okay, and we figured that out right here. I can cross cancel the kilometers. 5 times 1 is 5. 1 times 1.6 is 1.6. And if I divide that, I get 3.125 miles. So, therefore, the race is about 3.125 miles, and Israel has only practiced 2.5 miles. Looks like he needs to run a little further to be ready. So this is a key concept. You may want to pause the video and take some time to go ahead and copy these things down. Big thing I want to let you know is this is the U.S. customary. Okay, this is what we use in the United States. We see inches, feet, yards, and miles. But the metric system is used worldwide. So we use the metric system a little bit here, but everywhere else in the world, they use metric system solely pretty much. So you need to know that an inch is about 2.54 centimeters. A foot is about 1/3 of a meter, a little less than 1/3. A yard is 0.91 meters, and a mile is 1.61 kilometers. So write that down. That's for length, and I'll show you the rest for the other two. The other two are about weight and mass, which is pounds to grams, pounds to kilograms, and tons to kilograms, and liquid or fluid capacity. So when we're cooking and baking stuff, we know cups, pints, quarts, and gallons, but you need to know what that is in millimeters or liters as well. So copy this down. I don't suggest that you necessarily memorize these things, but there's certain ones that you'll see over and over again. It's probably a good idea to lock down in a memory. Let's do an example here. So Nick ran for 82 yards in the last school football game. How many meters was that? Well, this is how I'm going to do this problem. 82 yards over 1, and then I'm going to multiply it by the conversion factor. So we looked up on a chart and we found out that 1 yard is equal to 0.91 meters. Okay, so I set it up just like this. It's the amount times the conversion rate is equal to your answer. Now, notice how the conversion was set up. Where did I put the yards? Did I put it in the numerator? Or did I put it in the denominator? It's important to know. Well, I put it in the denominator so that these would cross out. You need one in the numerator, one in the denominator. Those cross out, and it leaves me with meters, which is the question or the answer I want it to be in. So then I can go ahead and just multiply across. I find out this is 74.62 meters is equivalent to 82 yards. Here's some more examples. 1.2 centimeters. How many inches is that? Well, here I go. Set it up again. 1.2 centimeters over 1. I times it by my conversion factor here. And remember, really important for me to put centimeters on the bottom so that they cross out. They will cross out, and then you'll end up with 1.2 times 1, which is just 1.2. 1 times 2.54, which is just 2.54. And then you divide those numbers. Divide and you get 3.048 inches. So 1.2 centimeters, approximately a little over 3 inches. Wait a minute. I'm wondering if anybody caught that problem there. You just trust everything that a teacher tells you? Think about it. How can I take 1.2 and divide by 2.54? Let's just even take the decimals away. 1 divided by 2 has got to be less than 1. How the heck would that happen? Something's not right. Something's a little fishy. Well, hopefully you figured that out, that the real answer is 0.472. It's got to be less than half. Less than half, right? You got a small number divided by a larger number. It's going to be less than 1 for sure, but it's actually 0.472 inches. So just checking to see if you're paying attention. All right, kilograms to pounds. 5.25 kilograms. How many pounds is that? Well, let's set it up again. Find your conversion factor. I'm going to put kilograms on the bottom, pounds up top. Kilograms cross out. And I end up just dividing 5.25 by the decimal here. And I end up with 11.57. That seems reasonable. It's almost like saying 5 divided by almost a half. How many halves are in 5? There'd be 10 halves in 5. So it's a little more than that. And that's the answer there. So estimation is really important before you do these type of problems. Think about what a reasonable answer would be. So Hannah swam in an Olympic-sized swimming pool over the summer. She swam from one side to the other, which is 50 meters, on one breath. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. I just kind of made it up. How far is that in feet? I don't know. 50 meters, does that seem long? I don't know. Well, let me tell you, I wouldn't be able to do this for sure. 50 meters over 1, well, I go and look for the conversion factor. And again, meters is already at top, so I need to put it on the bottom. And change it into feet. We're going to divide 50 divided by 0.3. So think about that. How many 0.3s are going to be in 50? It's almost 3 times as much. So it comes out to be 166.67 feet. Could you do that in one breath? Perhaps. And I believe, oh yeah, so that's it. So Hannah swam that much in one breath. Amazing, Hannah. Okay. Anyway, that's it for notes today. We're going to go ahead and spend some more time in class converting.